A Sick Gray Laugh, release day Q&A. And yes, to celebrate the release of my second novel, A Sick Gray Laugh, I posted on Facebook and Twitter soliciting questions from readers about the new book. And so several readers sent those in, and I'm going to take these one at a time. So there will be one video for each question. That way each video stays relatively short. So without any further ado, the first question that was asked today has to do with the novel and depression, and specifically with the impression that one of our questioners got after reading the back cover description of the novel, and having some questions instigated by that. So Christopher Ropes writes the following. He says, the description makes it sound like it arises out of personal experience with deep depression. As someone with chronic, lifelong depression issues, I'm wondering if this is the case. Well, let me pause right there. There's actually two questions in this question, but I'll answer the first one right there, which is to say, yes, A Sick Gray Laugh is definitely informed by my personal experience with severe depression. A lot of my books have been, actually. If you look at, the Sadist Bible, the characters in there are depressed, and they have, one of them has OCD. I have OCD, and I also have depression. So yeah, definitely, depression has informed that. Depression definitely also motivated Mr. Suicide. It was a big instigator between, it's a theme I keep going back to. But I guess what's different about this book that leads some people to really pick up on it is that the name of the main character is Noel Cashman, which suggests more of an autobiographical link between myself and the character. And so, yes, I've had that experience. And it is definitely one of the factors that led to the writing of A Sick Gray Laugh. Now, there were other things that also led to the writing of the novel, but I think some of the other questions that I'll be answering in this series will also address those. So I'll just kind of stick to the question as it's written right now. Second part of the question: what challenges did the writing of a book that may tackle such a difficult and painful topic present? Which is a great question. It kind of gets to the idea of how does a writer tackle a theme that is very personally resonant and painful, potentially, for them. And in this novel, actually, it's the main character, I think it's fair to say, kind of ping-pongs back and forth between health and wellness on the one hand, and illness and paranoia and fear on the other. And there's a constant back and forth, and it's not completely clear where this character stands in on that continuum of health and disease throughout the book. I mean, it's a complex question about whether this character is dealing with that. So I think that's important to kind of put out. But in general, the challenge about writing something about mental health when you have a mental health issue is, I mean, you're always wondering if you're giving away too much of your personal life, right? You always are concerned about wanting to make sure that you don't overshare in some kind of like kind of way. And it's all, I think it really has to do with how comfortable each writer is in terms of, self-revelation, and unveiling certain parts of themselves, in fiction. What I wanted to write about, I think, was about a character who is at least ostensibly getting better at the same time as her environment is getting weirder and weirder. And that was another big part of the book was, noticing the world around myself over the last few years in the United States, and how everything is getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and kind of more and more degenerating into something stupid and stupider and stupider and stupider. And being aware of this, and that kind of a tension between a character getting better while the environment gets worse, but is a character really getting better, is also part of it. I don't know if that answered the question or not. I hope it did. And let's go on to the next.